Hello everybody, so today's video we're talking about the case of Jordan Green. All the links I used for research will be down below like always. There will also be a link to a case suggestions form if you have any suggestions for any cases you want me to cover. Also a link to a project that is coming out in September if you would like a sneak peek of that. But with that being said, I want to go ahead and keep the intro short and sweet and jump on into the video. So Jordan, 23, is described as a very giving person, a very kind person, and he was so incredibly loved. In fact, his family have marked November 6th, the day he went missing, as Jordan Green Awareness Day, and they spend the day donating supplies to the homeless. They put together care packages and pass them out, and they also include flyers of Jordan and other missing people from San Antonio. This act is inspired by Jordan's nature because when he was younger, he loved to help people. His mom, Jennifer, recalled an instance where someone in the community who couldn't afford clothes for their sons, so Jordan and his brother went into their closets and started pulling out clothes and put together several bags of clothes to give to people. So they choose to love. They are very giving people, especially Jordan. Jordan was also a survivor. Many people consider themselves lucky to survive one near-fatal car crash, but Jordan survived two within the span of a month, and his mother said he should have died in both of those wrecks. That's how bad they were. They both occurred as he was driving home to Fort Worth, Texas from Langston University in Oklahoma. He was obviously shaken by these accidents, so in October of 2010, he decided to move home and take classes at a local college. In July 2015, his family says that In July 2015, his family says he wanted to earn some money, but was having trouble finding a job in Fort Worth, so he decided to move a few hours south to San Antonio, and he lived there with his aunt Lisa Daniela Camargo. He would get a job as a busser at a restaurant that had recently opened. Lisa said in early November, Jordan moved out of her house and into a coworker's apartment nearby. They messaged in the days after he left, and he seemed fine and all seemed normal. On November 7th at 9 a.m., she received a text from Jordan saying he had put in his 2 weeks' notice at work and he wanted to come back and live with her a few weeks before he moved back to Fort Worth before Thanksgiving. She said that was fine and planned to pick him up at the apartment around 2:30 p.m. to get food before he went to work at 4 p.m. He planned to move into Lisa's the following day. Around 8:45 p.m. that night, she spoke to him on the phone and said the call was noisy, which made sense as he was at work. 30 minutes later, Jennifer called him, and he was in a quiet area and believed he was walking home at that time. The next day, Lisa was expecting him so that they can move. They didn't plan a specific time for him to come out, but by 7 p.m. he still hadn't showed up. So she went to work the next day and didn't hear from him. So she went to the restaurant where he worked and learned he hadn't showed up for his shift that day. She called the family and no one knew where he was. So she reported him missing on Tuesday, November 10th. And unless my calculations are weird, he had moved out of her house um, fairly quickly, like in November, and then moved out of the coworker's apartment in November. And so, unless I have my years messed up, he was not living with that coworker very long. So, it makes me wonder, why did he want to move out of Lisa so quickly? Why this coworker, and what made him move out so quickly? Like, I don't understand. I feel like I have my dates wrong, but even when I was going through my research, I was like looking at the dates. And I was just like, he moved out of the coworker's house or the apartment fairly quickly. Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe he just didn't get on with the coworker like that, and he just wanted to move back in, and he didn't want to be in that area anymore. He wanted to go back home. That could be very well be the situation, but it just feels very quickly that I noticed. I don't know. Maybe y'all are noticing that. Um, but anyways, moving on. So he didn't show up for his shift that day. She called family. No one knew where he was, and he was reported missing on Tuesday, November 10th. Um, Hospitals were called, friends were called. They went to the apartment where he had been living with that coworker, and they just could not find him. They started putting up flyers and doing their own searches. Jennifer doesn't believe he walked away willingly and believes he is still alive. And we have a quote from Jennifer. She says, "When we last spoke on the phone, before he went missing, he said, 'I love you and I'll talk to you tomorrow.' Well, I'm still waiting on that tomorrow." End quote. It will be 9 years that he has been gone and we still don't know what's happened to him. I haven't found any updates on him, but the family is still keeping his legacy alive. They have a Bring Jordan Green home Facebook page where they share his story as well as other missing people. And other than that, I have a phone number and a description of Jordan. So he would now be 32 years old. He stood at about 5'9" to 5'10", 165 pounds. He was last seen in a dark blue shirt and blue jeans. He has black hair and brown eyes, pierced ears, and a scar on his right eyelid. He wears glasses. He had a goatee at the time he went missing. As for his tattoos, he has stars on his right bicep, a rosary on his chest with a cross that extended to his navel, a Bible verse, Isaiah 40:31, that says, "Day the wait upon the Lord," on his abdomen, the name Jennifer inside an open rose on the right side of his chest, the words "God got me" on both hands across the knuckles, the Taurus astrological sign on his left shoulder, the letter J on the back of his left arm, the letter G on the back of his right arm. Anybody with any information is urged to call the San Antonio Police Department at 210-207-7660. Again, the phone number is 210-207-7660. And that is everything I have for the case of Jordan Green. I honestly don't know what would have caused him to just disappear willingly. Jennifer says she doesn't believe that he did, but she still believes that he's alive. So I don't know if she thinks that maybe someone kidnapped him or he met the wrong people while he was walking home that night. It really seems like that because she called him. It was really noisy. He was at work, and then she called him again, and it was quiet. And it seems like maybe he was walking home. So it kind of feels like maybe he ran into someone, whether he knew them or not, and they took him for whatever reason. I don't even know what that reason would be. I kind of want to know more about his reason for moving out. Like, I want to know if it was just like a basic, like, I just want to move, or if there was actually something going on with a coworker, because maybe he had an issue with a coworker after he left work that evening. Maybe they ran into each other as he was walking home, I don't know. It kind of feels like maybe that has a part to play in this. But unfortunately, we don't know, and it's been 9 years. But hopefully something happens, someone remembers something, because this is just like really mind-boggling. Like, what happened to Jordan? Like, where did he go? I just want to say, if the family comes across this, that I am so sorry. I really hope you guys find him. He comes home somehow, some way. But if there are any updates on this case, of course, I will talk to you guys and I will bring this to you guys. But like I said, if any of you guys have any information that could help, don't be shy. Call that phone number. Your tip might just be what is needed to break this case open. But thank you guys so much for listening to Jordan's story, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.